Okay, well, something a little different this week. We're not on the canals, well, at least I'm not on the canals. We've been playing tag team with the boat. Camille was in Bali for a month doing a yoga instructor course, and now I'm off to India to do a bit of work with the dive centres that I work with in the Indian Ocean region. So, yeah, different. This is a much bigger boat than the one you're used to seeing. Our little Signet. This is a massive boat that transports people from Port Blair to Havelock Island in the Andaman Islands, which is where I'm heading today. I'm a bit out of breath because I was supposed to be on the 11:30 ferry, but when I arrived earlier than I expected because my connection was superb and the guy who picked me up in the taxi was just bang on time, they, for a small fee, have put me on the earlier ferry, and yeah, so now I'm like 3 hours ahead of schedule, which is great. But I've got to let the guys know in Havelock that I'm going to be arriving, and my phone signal has died. Well, I arrived, found a cafe with Wi-Fi, got a message to Sarjan and all the lads at Eco Villa, and they came to pick me up, and what a treat this place is. And Sarjan, he's one of life's true mavericks and well worth listening to because his marine conservation programs that he runs here are absolutely superb. Okay, so why am I in India? Why am I in the Andaman Islands? I hear you cry. Well, part of my job, what I do is I work for one of the big scuba diving agencies in the world. So I pretty much work for TDI, SDI. Technical Diving International, Scuba Diving International, and I am their regional manager for a portion of the Indian Ocean region and other parts of India. Like the Andamans isn't in the Indian Ocean. So I periodically have to come out and visit dive centres that teach courses for us, and that's why I'm currently in the Andamans. So this hardship that I'm having to endure is part of my job. So I hope you feel my pain. I'm having a working breakfast at the moment. I've got my coffee's already here, and I'm doing a little bit of looking after the guys. This particular place has recently crossed over and become an SDI, TDI scuba facility, and I'm sort of helping them, hand-holding them through how to use some of the back-of-house procedures. But they're spoiling me, if I'm honest. So work, schmirk. And as far as offices go, it ain't too bad. And really sadly, I had to leave here. This place is fantastic. I mean, just a superb environment, lovely people, great food. And as I said, the marine conservation programs for divers that they're running here are absolutely amazing. So put it on your list. Anyway, I've got to get on a ferry now and get over to another island. I'm sure you're feeling my pain. So as much as it's not narrowboat related, it is boat related because I am on another ferry again on my way between Havelock Island this time and Neil Island. It was a bit of a whirlwind visit to Havelock, visiting the dive centres and the people that crossed over earlier in the year. So another whirlwind visit to another island, and then back to another island, and then back to the mainland. So anyway, I'll see what I can film on board as far as limited views from the boat of the journey. So boaty kind of related. Whistle stop tour of Neil Island, and Raju's on the phone now. I've been to see him only for one night only to deliver his backpack and some bits and pieces for him to be teaching with, underwater slates and the like. And it was nice coming back. I bumped into one of my old customers
from the Philippines who was from India, Sahil. So if you're watching, Sahil, good to see you, man. You made my day, absolutely made my day. And I'll see you when I get back the next visit. Now I know that you're permanently based out here. Yeah, so now yet another ferry ride back to Port Blair today for another overnighter. See some people. Can't show you much of the islands. I can show you Raju now he's off the phone, yeah. Whose hospitality, as everybody's has been since I've been here, has been absolutely superb. A little bit emotional actually, because everyone is really looking after me extremely well, but then vice versa. All right, so about to check in, and then I've got to say goodbye to Raju, unfortunately, but I'll see you guys on the boat. It seems like all I'm showing you is getting on a ferry and getting off a ferry, and that's pretty much what it's like. I am in some locations getting to enjoy it for a few days, but the last few days has just been in for the night, see people who have become friends who I work with, and then the next day have to say goodbye again. Although, like I said earlier, bumping into Sahil, who was one of my favourite old guests at my old dive shop, was a real bonus. I really didn't know he was on the island, and I didn't expect to bump into him today. And yeah, good to see old friends, especially the ones that put a smile on your face back in the day and continue to do so when you see them in the future. Right, ferry bound. Hopefully I get more of a view so I can maybe show you some scenery rather than just the back of people's heads.
And now yet another ferry and another plane, and I've got to head to Visakhapatnam. New territory for me. I'm looking forward to this.
All right, so I've woken up this morning, as a blues song will probably say, and I'm in Visakhapatnam, and it is a glorious day. And I'm about to pop in and see one of the centres that crossed over to TDI SDI, and Subhash, who I was out having a few beers with last night. He's a super nice guy. Everybody else that I've met since coming over here, I met before when I was doing my previous visit in India, except for Subhash. And yeah, you use cliches like save the best till last. There's no best, they're all super nice guys, but we got on very well last night. It's like we'd always known each other. And so I'm going to pop in. He's in the process of setting up the whole dive centre, moving stuff over, but he's operational, so I'm going to have a little nose around and meet everybody. But I think I overslept, and I think they're already in the water, but it's okay. So it's part and parcel of what I do when I'm travelling around India to see how the guys are doing and look at their plans for teaching diving and their business plans for the future. I'm also sort of looking at the things at their disposal and the things that they have access to for training. And this doesn't look too bad for a classroom now, does it?
It never ceases to amaze me in India how you can be in absolute chaos and traffic one moment, and then you make a left turn, and then this.
Okay, so you're familiar with the phrase mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the midday sun. Well, it is extremely hot, and it is just after midday, and these guys are not mad dogs and they're not Englishmen, and they're cooling off in the midday sun. Well, I figure if they're cooling off, so am I. That's better. Okay, well, it's my last day in India. Well, tomorrow's a day of travelling, so that doesn't really count. And it's been fantastic. Everyone's been super friendly. I've not been run over, which is a bonus. I've survived 8 flights, well, seven so far. 7 flights, 3 ferries, 3 islands, 3 cities, 12 dive shops. And it's been fantastic, thank you. And try not to get run over. I love Pondi. This has kind of become my hub, if you will, for all the journeys that I take in India, and I'm starting to really enjoy it. So I think you'll see a few more non-narrowboat vlogs from here.